The struggle for women's suffrage. A global journey towards equality. Do you want to know how women in developed countries got the right to vote? In this video, we will shed light on the struggle of women to gain voting rights. Women's suffrage, the right to vote and participate in democratic processes, has been a long and arduous journey marked by resilience, determination, and relentless activism. Throughout history, women have fought against systemic barriers and societal norms to secure their place in the political arena. This story delves into the global movement for women's suffrage, highlighting key figures, milestones, and the impact of this struggle on societies worldwide. The United States was among the early pioneers in the fight for women's suffrage. The movement gained momentum in the 19th and early 20th centuries, spearheaded by trailblazers such as Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Alice Paul. The suffragists persevered despite staunch opposition, including violent resistance and legal obstacles. In 1920, the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was ratified, granting women the right to vote nationwide. This historic achievement marked a significant victory for the women's suffrage movement in the United States. In the United Kingdom, the campaign for women's suffrage took shape in the late 19th century. Organizations like the Women's Social and Political Union, WSPU, led by Emmeline Pankhurst and her daughters, played a pivotal role in advocating for women's rights. As they were called, the suffragettes engaged in civil disobedience, hunger strikes, and public demonstrations to demand voting rights. Despite facing opposition and imprisonment, their efforts bore fruit when the Representation of the People Act was passed in 1918, granting voting rights to certain categories of women. It wasn't until 1928, with the Equal Franchise Act, that all women over the age of 21 gained the right to vote on equal terms with men in the UK. New Zealand stands out as a trailblazer in the fight for women's suffrage. In 1893, it became the first self-governing nation to grant women the right to vote in parliamentary elections. The achievement resulted from years of grassroots activism and the tireless efforts of suffragists like Kate Shepherd. New Zealand's bold step towards gender equality set a precedent for other countries to follow. South Australia led the way in 1894 by granting women the right to vote and stand for Parliament. Other states followed suit, with Western Australia, New South Wales, Tasmania, and Victoria extending suffrage to women in subsequent years. Finally, in 1902, the Commonwealth Franchise Act enabled women to vote in federal elections across Australia. This marked a significant milestone in the country's democratic evolution. The fight for women's suffrage was not confined to a few nations but resonated worldwide. Countries such as Canada, Finland, Norway, and Sweden granted women the right to vote in the early 20th century. However, the struggle persisted in many parts of the world, with women in countries like Saudi Arabia, Switzerland, and the United Arab Emirates gaining suffrage rights much later, sometimes as late as the 21st century. The quest for women's suffrage has been a transformative force, reshaping societies and challenging entrenched power structures. From the United States to New Zealand, the fight for equal voting rights has been a testament to the resilience and determination of women throughout history. While significant progress has been made, the struggle for gender equality continues in many parts of the world, highlighting the ongoing relevance of the women's suffrage movement in shaping a more inclusive and just society. Thank you for watching this video.